Come in. Welcome to Goreheart, the last settlement before the Feylands. How can I fill your pack today? Goodbye. It's busy today.
Come in, rest your boots by the fire, and drown your worries in a flagon of our finest. I am Arnik Arduna, and this is the famous Goreheart Inn. Stick around.
Yes? What is it?
Come to town after.
Can I help you?
Reisberg Arms and Armours, blacksmithing on premises. So long.
Interesting. You're not at all what I expected to find here. Oh, is that the name of this Fate Weaver? No, the Tuatha I was following killed him. I was hoping his corpse would give me an idea of why they were here. Now I know. They were hoping to find you. Knowing you, you're definitely involved. But something tells me I know you better than you knew yourself. Don't you remember me? I'm hurt. No time for introductions now. The Tuatha are still on the move. I'm certain that we'll see one another again. Soon. Be on your way.
What happened here? Arden's dead. How did this happen? Why would they have come here? Why kill a harmless old Fate Weaver? They couldn't know that you were headed here. I mean, the stingy bastard owes me a week of drinks. Doesn't mean he deserved to be murdered. I was hoping to avoid this, but I think I'm going to have to take you to Delok. It's a sacred place to we Fate Weavers. Somewhere that I was hoping to avoid. I was hoping Arden could take you, but I guess it comes down to me. No reason getting anyone else killed over it. Go, I'll meet you there. Once I give Arden a proper funeral. This is twice now I've buried the bodies left in your wake.
The Summer Fae suffered the winter's onslaught. They collided amidst lightning and fire, and a godstorm gathered up the land in its embrace, crushing it. Do you remember the steady rain? The hail of bodies, both wintry and warm? It was a sword carving the plains with death.
This is Yolvan, proud and mighty, shaped and hewn by Fae of old. If you hear us, then we are sleeping still. But be strong of heart, new one. Our powers are old, but our triumphs are eternal. We have brought peace to the webwood, and the corruption and decay and filth were grown, were spread like sickness from the fens and dells of this place. They were led not by a beast, not by a fell one, but by her, the one who walks alone, the mother of 100,000 spiders. She is a queen of web and poison. She calls herself the Widow. The canopy stretched far and blocked the light of summer. But we pressed on and forward to Cathras, to the Widow's den. We were but weak when we arrived, but she was weaker still, her children having died before our march. To Ashara we commended her, and then we felt the call of winter. And so some turned to sleep, and I kept watch. Some colder wind of winter blows then, we have seen. Summer does not return our brothers, our clans to us. What will happen to the vigil I keep? Winter already calls me, and no relief is in sight. The Widow walks. I can feel the heart of the webwood pulsing with her anger. Her spiders are at the gates. We never thought this day would come. The Widow walks. The Widow walks.
Oh, they said, it is not good to have a darkened summer, so I made a night. Oh, they said, to Yolvan you should look, so I found Cathras. Oh, they said, you have no food, so I brought water. Oh, they said, you have no homes, so I grew trees. Oh, they said, you have no music, so I laughed. steam of summer from the forest, like a runner in the night, or mist from a lover's whisper. Spectral blood from the riverbed wraps our bodies in gloss. The fog eases through blades of grass. We shall grasp these floating strands of summer and capture beauty in our work. The embrace of webwood never ends. It grips you with a strength of passion, a gentle stillness, a quiet moment. Sleep in this cradle of a balmy, secret place. As you take, so are you taken. Hold me in your love, and I hold you in my own. Borrow me, and I will borrow you. A kind of kindness, and forever a chill to comfort the warm. Although I am a widow, I have the brood to feed. And though our lover's gone, we will not forget their sacrifices and from whence they came.
Among echoes of golden coasts and silver seas, Lyria drew near. She saw the priestess asleep, reclined on dark earth amidst the cypress trees. Under the gleam of heaven's dusk reflected, the mirror that tantalized the stars, Lyria whispered to Tyrion, "On rocky spur of sable stone shall heaven's mount prove, is a seat of elegance near kin, a shard of night to glisten in the foam, a spire from the seabed to drip from the sky's veil. There will your people be closest to my voice." And so awoke Beala Tyrion, the calm and majestic, to see the cliffs against the coast, and Lyria's throne before her.
Lord Ferrara, valiant warrior, destroyer of Enfaminir, Duke of the Hylarans, protector of the Ring of Chiozai, discoverer of the island of Meropis, were he only to meet a better end. So brief his term among our court, so virile his living. He is fervor embodied, he is vitality. He rescued Princess Luna to take as his own, King of Strand, Prince of Passion. Famor, so formidably bloody bones. Once companion to Issa, now enemy to the court. Once lover of Era, then bringer of death. Now forever in decay, forever cursed, never to... Such antipathy between them, Ferrara and Famor. Ferrara filled with life in bloom, and the bloody bones with rot and scorn. How terrible is their grapple when they both meet their ends. Lord Ferrara, lover of summer, but more a lover of Luna. His sacrifice so unexpected, yet so fitting. forfeiting himself so that she may survive. His cycle is ended, and so weep the maidens for the most august lover, most exalted hero.
It's good you're here. I was beginning to think you were just something I saw in the bottle. Welcome to the ruins of Delok. Yes, it doesn't look like much, but in these ruins lies the Theater of Fate, the ancient home of the Fate Weavers. Come with me. No telling what we'll find down there. In we go. Ever since this place was abandoned, strange beasts have moved in. Stay close. This place has been abandoned for so long that some Fate Weavers think it's just a legend. The theater can show us the whole tapestry of fate, laid bare. We can do nothing to change it, or prevent its horrors. Well, most of us can. After all those years of hiding in a bottle, it's good to see some action again. If only one last time. We're almost there. Or at least as far as I can take you. I've seen this. This moment. I'm sorry, my friend. This is as far as I can take you. He was supposed to... Do you have any idea what you've done? What sort of power you're playing with? You absorbed everything he was, everything he would do. You changed the weave of destiny itself. Because of you, there are deeds he won't do. Children of his that won't be born. Victims that won't die when they were supposed to. Yes, I'm aware. But there's still no telling what damage you could do if you aren't careful. You're much more dangerous than I thought. We need to get you to the Theater of Fate right away. The Theater of Fate. I never thought I'd see it. We Fate Weavers never fully understood the power of this place. Seems there's a lot we don't understand. Gods, I should have brought another bottle. No surprise that Niskaru found its way to this place of power. Everything about these ruins is dedicated to this room, and at the center of it all is the Destiny Stone. With it, the Fae taught the Fate Weavers the answers to the deepest mysteries of fate. Put your hands on the stone, and maybe we can find answers to your own mysteries. The Destiny Stone came apart at your touch. And all around you, the tapestry of fate, unweaving itself. And there at the core was the Codex of Destiny. The wisdom that the Fae used to help the first Fate Weavers understand the nature of the weave. Don't you see what this means? Yes, it is. And from what I can tell, you're the one changing it. With every breath, you're changing how lives begin and end. The way the Codex of Destiny came to you out of the stone. That's got to mean something, too. But I'll be damned if I can read this thing. As dangerous as an open flame. You could help people or destroy them entirely. When you get involved, there's no grand cosmic plan. Only freedom, and all the dangers that come with it. And that means I owe you, Wait. What's that?
Purge the abomination! In the name of Godflaw!
Now this looks like some fun.
Who are you? How do we know you're not working with the Tuatha?
I don't care if you trust me. I'm beginning to think that these Tuatha don't like you. Now why do you think that might be? After all, someone who can change the fate of the world, who wouldn't want you? I'm not sure, but they're very well informed about your location. They came straight here from Didenhill, but they're not nearly as interesting as you. Especially now that they're dead. Now it's my turn. Why are you here? Ha! Knowing the future is for fools. Who reads the end of a book before it's time? Save your attention for the present. Like that codex you found? Our scholars thought those were all gone from the world. But you're just full of surprises. Good luck understanding it. That's Fae knowledge. They don't even have a written language. The stone is simply embedded with what they know, unseeable to mortals. Why worry about the little fish, when deeper waters hold the more interesting secrets? There's more to this than you understand. I don't have the answers for you, but I know someone who might. When you're ready, meet me at the House of Ballads. I'm sure the Fae would love to meet you. Be on your way.
We can't trust her. Never met a Darkelfar who'd give me a straight answer, even with a sword at their throat. But she wasn't wrong about that codex. Just be careful doing anything she suggests. Meanwhile, we can't just ignore the Tuatha that are tracking you. We need to do something about them. She said they came through Didenhill, didn't she? They don't belong in these lands, so they probably left a trail wide as an Eden's backside. Meet me there, and we'll track them down. Maybe we can find out why they're after you. Or at least how they can find you so easily. I've got some final rites to perform before I leave this place. Good luck. Ah, the castle. This tells me that your tavern will be a part of Loch Dyden for decades to come?
Last month you told me that the plague would take us all.
I know, but it's your fault that I can't pay my tab, you know? I wasn't ever supposed to come back here in the first place. I've spent the last 20 years knowing what fate had in store for me, and then you... Damn it. I thought I had my life figured out. I know. It's just... I wasn't always the man I am now. In my youth, I was quite the warrior. I fought beasts the size of trees, was celebrated by mortals and fae alike. When I was initiated into the Fate Weavers, I thought it was a reward for my good deeds. The first time I saw my own fate, I realized it was nothing but a curse. My own death, of course. But not a hero's death as I had always dreamed. I was going to die alone and unknown, killed by an Etin and used for stew. It was a terrible end, but I knew it was part of fate's greater plan. Then you came and changed that future. You stole my part in the tapestry. I was at peace with knowing the worst. But what do I do now that there's nothing to know? You're right. My glory days don't have to be over, and as long as I'm around you, I don't know how my story will end. That means I've got to make sure you stay around in one piece. Maybe this old trinket from my youth will help. After all, I don't just owe you my life. I owe you my future. Why, I once tracked the Yeth of Avgrun on a moonless night by smell alone. Fey or not, I could have tracked those Tuatha sober. They've set up in a cavern north of town, complete with some way of scrying your location. That's how they found you so easily. I have a plan, but it'll take the both of us to work. These soldiers were sent out with one purpose: finding you and making sure you stay dead. Everything else, the Well, Arden, Hughes, have all been collateral damage. They're using something big to track you. They call it the Eyes of Tirnoch. Smash it, And they won't be following you anymore. The main entrance is heavily guarded and will require a strong attack. The other route is trapped. It'll need a subtler approach. Straightforward and direct. A warrior after my own heart. I'll cover the back and make sure they can't escape to report back to whoever sent them here. Let's track down some trouble.
This is the Three Lamps. Plague's put my own grey in the healer's care, but we're open nonetheless. Great! We've an open room, if you've gold to pay. Do you then? Good doing business.
Right then.
Hope they fed well up north in the mission.
This is the front entrance. You'll face their strongest guards, so it's no place for subtlety. Find their scrying mirror and smash it. I'll slip in the back and make sure none of them escape.